the new age of combat.
Human beings, genetically engineered to be the best fighters in history.
Two champions
It isn't over until someone wins.
at war with each other.
Achilles! I have already killed you.
Welcome to the last episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hey!
This week, we're discussing the science fiction classic, Robot Jox, starring some actors. You may recognize them. They may be vaguely recognizable, perhaps.
Well, they just may look like other actors that were more successful.
That is a problem. This week, we've got two special guests, our friends from the Uncut Gems podcast. We have Jakob and Randy. How's it going?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having
Happy
us.
to be here. Happy to be here. I'm so excited for this.
Each week on the podcast, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genre with a comedic twist. I've got to say, Robot Jox actually was one of your guys' suggestions. And I want to know why.
One.
Quite frankly, I'm
One of
surprised.
us, guys.
It seems very Kevin-esque.
Look, this was mine because like when you guys reached out, just like, oh, do you want to come on the show? Like, throw a few suggestions. So like we just like Randy put a few together, I put a few together, and you guys just like took one out of the hat. I'm just like score because I get to buy the Arrow box set, right? No, but I do have a story with this.
Please.
Yeah, this may be one of the first films I've ever rented at the ripe age of like 8 or whatever. Like I went to a VHS rental place back in the middle of nowhere in Poland, and I saw this cover, these two robots standing like this, and I was just like, because I was into like
That's the one.
Transformers. I was into
Yeah.
Transformers.
I was going to say, because you thought it was the Transformers more
Absol-
than meets the eye.
Absolutely, and also I was very much into because on the morning cartoons we had Tosho Daimas, which is like an anime from the 1978 or 9, which is not for kids because it's violent and everything. But it's kind of like Pacific Rim essentially. And I was just like, I was into robots and everything, and then I watched this, and actually at the right page of it, I was just like, this is cinema,
This is the apex.
I love this, and I needed an excuse to watch this again, so I did. I'm not gonna spill any more perils for now, but yeah, this is kind of just like, okay, because it's either we do it on our show, we have to find a reason to do this on our show, or it's just like, this is a perfect opportunity to do this.
So thanks. This ticks a box for us, so this is good. I don't have this background. I had Voltron in my life. That was the big robot in my existence growing up, and that's about it. So,
Well, I mean, as a kid in
first
the
time
80s,
watch.
all the cartoons were kids or people climbing into giant robots and fighting monsters and shit. I mean,
Yep.
what else? You had like Robotech, which is like
Yep.
Macross or whatever. It was constantly people climbing. I think the Thundercats climbed into something as well. I mean, there's
Yep.
all sorts of. It was
Well,
all
yeah, you had
craziness.
like in the 90s, you also had Power Rangers. They also made a robot out of whatever they were doing. Like
Yeah.
red power and everything. It's just, weird enough, I think the white Power Ranger
Getting into
didn't
the
get to have
politics,
a...
Jacob. We're getting into the
I was going
politics.
to say, did one of the Power Rangers murder someone?
Yes.
Oh shit!
I think so. Yeah, it gets really dark really quickly, but yeah. So I was looking forward to this because like I was like 4 days. I was like, let's just call it down with the sickness. So I was just like with a
That's
real
true.
nasty cold. So I watched Robot Jox. I watched Crash and Burn. I watched Robot Wars. I watched Dolls and Fortress. so yeah, I'm ready for this, baby.
Now, Aaron, how are you feeling about all this? Tom,
I have never heard of this movie. I never saw this movie before. I had a terrible day at work and sat down to watch this masterpiece. And then I needed a drink. So
Yeah.
wash it away. I being a girl, was not that interested in Transformers.
Okay, fair enough.
But there was some surprise pubic hair in here, so and not from the ladies.
yes,
Yep.
they
So
dabble.
let's just throw that out there. It's like if you could the pretend Timothy Oliphant was flashing all kinds of stuff.
Do you know what he looked like to me? I always forget the guy's name, but when he's wearing a suit, he looks like Laura Palmer's dad.
Oh, Ray Wise.
Yes, that's the one. I always
The
forget his
RoboCop.
name. Yeah, yes, that's the one. And it's in my life, in my head, he lives like as Laura Palmer's dad.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I saw him as Chris Kattan personally, but
Oh Lord, we're all over the map here. I thought the Russian guy looked like the lead singer of Chicago. So here we are.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Peter Cetera, the evil Peter Cetera. Yeah.
Well, he's not supposed to be Russian.
Is there
It's
any other kind of
Confederation, right?
Peter Cetera? I just assume he's evil.
They weren't supposed to be Russian. Is that what you said? Because they
No,
said very Russian-y
No,
to me. I
they're
gotta be honest.
not Russian, okay? We're trying to stay apolitical. They're Confederates.
50 years after the next nuclear war, right?
Right. And yet
No,
it's
we're
still
assuming that
basically
no-
America versus the Soviets, right?
But didn't we assume it's like 2041? So it's essentially like the nuclear war took place in like the early 90s. So or
That's
something.
true. That's true. Well, when did this movie it came out in 89, something like that, thereabouts?
I think it came out in 1990. It was supposed to come out in 1989. Came out in 1990, and I want to say the technical term, I think, would be jack shit on the box office.
But I remember the commercials for this on the TV. Where
Oh, really?
It was
Good
delayed
Lord.
for a year, and actually it was delayed so much. I think that the novelization came out before, so it's technically based on a book.
the novelization, the pamphlet, the leaflet. Yeah,
It was
no,
nominated for a Pulitzer, you know.
I
Yeah.
remember Achilles like going, "I'm gonna get in this thing and kick your," and they couldn't say ass on
Mhm.
TV at that time, so they just cut to a robot falling down. There's a lot of robots falling down in this movie. By
Oh
the
my
way.
Yeah,
God.
yes. And
They
they
were
really
just stable as a Godzilla monster. It's like a
Yes.
cool breeze would just cause it to tip over.
It's the easiest puppeteering, right?
Yep.
Fred,
Puppeteering.
tip it over.
That was
That
sweet.
and the slow motion fighting.
Yes, there was a lot of
Yep.
that. Oh, good Lord. Now,
A very undignified falling over.
that's true. Aaron and I had never seen this before. This is both of our first viewing.
What?
Are
I
you
thought for
serious?
sure you own this, Kevin.
No.
How
I
can
thought-
this be?
Same. I was
Yeah,
thinking like this
and
is
first
such a
time
Kevin
here,
movie. So am I the only like
You're
I
the
don't
one,
know.
bro.
You're
I'm
the one with
the only one
history
who's
with
keeping
it,
it real in here? What is going on?
Oh, I'll be keeping it real pretty quick. Don't you worry.
I gotta be honest, this is not good. Like this movie is not great.
Well, that-
I have a
You know, I gotta
full
sit down
half
without
page of
realization.
notes.
let me. Oh my goodness! How can I? I'm reeling with this realization. Yeah. My first note was literally like, "So crappy." That was the first thing I wrote down. Good Lord.
because you thought you might forget it.
That's right. Let's.
You better jot that down.
Why don't we jump right in to the highlights? What do you guys got? What moments spoke to you, if you will?
I already brought up the pubic hair and butt shots, only of the male star, really.
Well,
Yep.
you see Athena's butt.
You see her rump, but
Right.
he was
Yeah.
trying to give us a little something else.
Well, this
Yep.
is the future where men and women
Cool.
use the same locker room. This is constant, like you see this in Starship Troopers and RoboCop. In
Just
the
about to
future-
say that.
Yeah.
It's
in the future, they don't
it's,
care. They're like, whatever.
it's a
all good.
Verhoeven-verse.
All co-ed bathrooms.
It's all these like
Prescient film.
yeah.
It's
You can't
woke.
lose.
It's woke, and I'm tired of it.
Look, I think it's the future. So they like remember what's Blade Runner 2049 where Ryan Gosling takes like 3-second showers. Water is really probably very scarce, so all they have to just like clump up in this one room, just take 10-second showers. That's it. We're done.
Just
Here.
snuggle
Recycling the old dirt water.
Yeah.
Blah.
Soylent Green.
And is that also why they also have the same terrible haircut that does not flatter African American hair in a way whatsoever?
I thought
I
that
thought they
was a
were
test
clones,
tube
right? right?
baby thing.
Yeah,
That's
because they
two
were
baby things.
because they were all engineered by the lady from Dolls.
That's 100%.
They all had to have a weird little pigtail up
A
at
little
the back.
loop.
They have what was it like the Padawan braid? No, they don't have a Padawan braid because they have a little man bun. Like
a
it's
little scorpion tail hanging on the back. It was very bizarre. It was very bizarre. They
It
do
was
that-
really making the man bun seem better. It really does. I would prefer a man bun to the weird pigtail.
Absolutely. Well, they make those choices like this is the future. We do shit just a little bit differently. You know what I mean? And then they make like totally bizarre choice. It was like, here's a weird little hairstyle only the test tube children have for some reason.
yeah. I mean,
They're born with braided hair.
So
they
way,
will
way to
like,
tell them from the others.
they will make these choices as in like, look, it's the future, so we have to mess with some things, but people still have like a landline by the bed. So you know
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
just a
yeah. And it's still
like
it's
normal
tangled and
Sure.
flying around.
CRT monitors.
Rotary. Yeah, it's
yeah.
all.
They'll
But he has a
always-
remote control for his car the size of like
yes.
I can't even remember the old video game.
I had a
fucking
note,
car.
a gigantic fob.
I mean the Stuart Gordon and Charles Band, they couldn't afford the futurists that Steve Spielberg had on Minority Report. You know,
Clearly. But let's talk about that. This is Charles Band before Full Moon Entertainment.
Yep.
This is Stuart Gordon. It's basically the cat. If you're paying attention, it's the cast of Dolls
yep,
brought
Mhm.
back.
I saw her
Mhm.
right away.
yeah.
yeah.
And she makes so many cool faces when the robots are fighting. She's just yes, yes. I mean, do you know what she looks like to me? Like Emperor Palpatine when like Hayden Christensen's fighting with what's his face, Christopher Lee. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
kill him. Yes,
It's exactly
very
right.
excited. Such
Now, they were using stop motion animation to make these horrible things move around a little bit. And my question is, why not just have like dudes in suits at that point?
Like the old Godzilla.
Absolutely.
It would have been just as effective, I think.
Well, they're more
But then
a
you
person
couldn't
is more
transform
articulate.
it. You can't transform it
It'd
if
feel a little bit more Beastie Boys, I would have to think.
That is true.
Which I'm
Yeah,
not necessarily
true that.
against.
Right. It's got to be.
If you have to go cheap, I'm okay with this. I'm okay
they
with this
definitely
choice.
needed more Beastie Boys in this.
At the risk of being cynical, they probably hired the puppeteer already, and they was just like, "We're doing stop motion because we have a stop motion guy, so we're doing stop
Yeah.
motion." Or,
Let's go.
or maybe it's because like RoboCop was doing stop motion, so it's like we got to do stop motion. Like everyone's
and
doing
that's-
stuff.
This is only a couple years before Jurassic Park. Put
Yes.
that in your pipe and smoke it. And this is what they're serving up to the American public. When a couple
Like
years
like a
later, we're gonna have
1% of its
dinosaurs.
budget, no?
Yeah.
Fair.
I
Fair.
think the business model is probably a little different. This is the this is to go alongside Carnosaur. It's a couple years before Carnosaur was.
This-
Harness.
Look, this movie looks like it just, you know, like these people who made this alongside Stuart Gordon were kind of just like fired off the set of Roger Corman Productions for being not professional enough.
Yes.
You know, that's
Competent. Right.
so yeah, that's kind of where we are, I think.
Yeah, and we talked about this in a couple times last year about the financial potential of the bottom row, the bottom rack at the video store. All kinds of small crap showed up there, small budgets. So someone on the business side knew how to make money from it. So
Yeah, because it's like
it's these
costs what?
guys.
How much did it cost to make? Like $1 million? Probably less than that.
around 1 million, I think.
Sell like 100,000 copies at $10 a pop. Like you're making money.
Well, and this was like the 70s into the 80s was that time of kind of that low budget film that still went to the theaters. You had all those Canon films
Mhm.
that they were
Mhm.
just pumping out, all the ninja movies.
Yep.
Roger Corman was doing his
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have
Those
any
were the
options
days.
like now. People went to the movies much more often.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep. Because now,
and
now,
same with
yeah.
the video store. After a while, you've seen all this shit. So
But now-
now you're looking at the bottom rack, and you just
Exactly.
start pulling it off by the cover. That's
Yeah.
how I used to buy wine back in the old days. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's
we were
what I was
talking
saying.
about this a while. As in, like,
$3? All right.
Yeah, now this doesn't exist anymore because now it's just like the sort of like the bottom end of your Netflix library where no one ever even goes. So you don't even have eyes on this stuff
The Black Hole
anymore.
of Calcutta down there, and
Yeah.
don't go there.
Yeah, but some cool things in there. Like there's trash, and I always see a difference between trash and garbage. You know, trash is good. Garbage, not so
My
much.
wife will like go through there and on Prime as well, and she'll be like, "Well, I know this actor. This must be some shit," and we'll pop it in and watch 10 minutes. I'm like, "Honey, if you've never heard of it,
Yes.
if you've never heard of it, because that's the thing. It's like there are movies. There's something with like Morgan Freeman does a lot of crap like straight to video stuff.
Yep,
You know what I
Tom
mean?
Berenger
Bruce
did quite a
Willis-
lot.
Sure.
Do you know how many sequels to Sniper there are? Way too many.
Quite a few. And they're not all with Treat Williams. I mean, some of them are.
Yes.
R.I.P.
It's like everyone does. Yeah, and everyone does streaming now. Everyone except Jason Statham for some reason. Who I don't know.
What does he do? I mean, he has a
The
bunch
Beekeeper.
of stuff. I saw the Beekeeper.
but he never does a straight to video project. It just blows my mind.
Because he has standards, Randy, okay?
Well, what is it? It's oh my god, who's the French director that he's in all his movies? Fifth Element.
Luc Besson?
Luc Besson. He does he produces basically every Jason Statham movie, like all the Transporter movies.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
they're pumping those out.
Mhm.
Yep.
Good on Statham.
And yeah, I suppose he's kind of like, you have the Statham, the Neesons, and the Butlers. They are kind of like now in the sort of the dad shelf on Amazon
Yes,
Prime.
that's a good shelf. I'm not gonna lie. I
Love
like
that stuff.
shelf.
Dad shelf. Liam Neeson. He's like 85 years old, still jumping out of goddamn planes.
Well, you
Still
gotta.
doing his thing.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that's different. You know what I mean? I think that the dad shelf is different than kind of the asylum pictures. And you can't see, I'm like reaching all the way down to the ground. Where it's not, it's Transmorphers is their
Yeah.
movie. It's Atlantic Rim.
Atlantic Rim, yes.
Atlantic Rim.
Exactly, yeah.
They're trying to fool grandmother who might buy their grandson a movie. And they're like, I don't know, looks good.
Yeah. You know, this thing happens. Like, what was it? Like, I saw a YouTube video like years ago from like some unboxing at Christmas. The grandpa bought his grandson a copy of Mein Kampf because he misheard the kid liked Minecraft, you know?
That is the best. I've never heard that before.
Oh, I was just like, wow. I was
Nailed
just like,
it, Grampy.
I was just like, why does he want this? I don't know, like kids
That's
these
part of
days.
the punishment,
Bought him some hard lit.
Okay, let me get the train back on the tracks here. So back to Robot Jocks. But honestly, it's like the battles would last for 2 minutes because they'd shoot like lasers and shit at each
Mhm.
other, and to no avail. Then the Confederation guy would kind of hit Achilles, who probably just lay down on the ground. Keeping in mind that these things are like what, 100 feet tall. If you drove your car off a 100-foot bridge, you'd be dead, right?
They're just bouncing around inside of there. That seems like a really bad idea.
Is this what you expected when the robot like keels over and cut to the inside of the cockpit and it's just minced beef everywhere?
That's what it should be.
I think they're fastened in pretty tightly because they have these cockpits. This is what I was razzing Jakob about, is like all these cockpits in Pacific Rim and in Robot Jocks. Like
It all
it's like
stands
they've got
there.
yeah, like it's like Peloton or
It
something
is.
like Dance Revolution or something. You gotta oh my
Right.
god. Why can't a
Randy,
cockpit have a chair?
Randy, like your inner child, like you euthanized your inner child. At least I keep mine in a coma, give it sponge baths or something.
They were bad years.
Like this all comes back to anime. Because like I remember the Tosho Daimos anime I watched as a kid had this sort of like Pacific Rim thing that, you know, like there was this guy in a cockpit in a massive transformer who did karate
Yeah.
chops, you know, and the robot recreated those. So that's kind of where Robot
Doesn't
Jocks
make
has
it
the same.
cool.
Well, they
Yeah,
pull
it
out a
does.
huge
Yeah,
sword
it does.
as a giant robot. How big is that goddamn sword, by the way? If you're one of those, you know what I'm saying? It's like freaking. Anyway,
Yeah, pretty big. Yeah. Although I do like in here when the robot keels over and the Russian has like a special move and he has this detachable fist and he just like just,
Yes.
just like and he also has a special weapon because he then unveils this massive chainsaw dick.
Yes, I did write that down.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going in my notes.
And goes right for the face. That's upsetting.
Womp womp.
Gotta show business. This is
Well, that was a bit of an issue too, right? Because didn't Stuart Gordon he was saying that this is for kids, and the producer was saying, but we're
No, it's
seeing
not.
butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're seeing
Also,
butts.
this robot has a
We're- we're
massive
s-
dong.
we're seeing chainsaw genitals.
Yes, this was an issue. It was the writer, guy who wrote the script, evidently was on set every day
Okay.
and battling with Stuart Gordon, who wanted to be kind of fun and campy, and the other guy's like, no, I want a dark vision of post-apocalyptic.
A
where
dark
giant
vision
robots-
that
Why
involves
not
a
both?
chainsaw penis.
Yes,
Yes.
That's all part
That's
of
the
the
one.
future.
yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
And it's-
But still, like I know it's fun and campy, and just like if Stuart Gordon wants it for kids, I'm pretty sure like when the scene where the robot keels over the stands and kills like 500 million people, and all of a sudden this is like Stuart Gordon's like, this is my time. Okay, well, like, makeup guys, like just make them look like they're from beyond, you know, just melting faces everywhere.
Yes,
My son.
yes, a child. Want to be like, here's a little child on his dad's shoulders. Oh shit, a giant robot is about to sit on us. Crunch.
I mean, it could have just
the
like
extras look like peasants, I got to say, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail or something.
yeah, and they were also betting on this, like wearing masks and betting. It was kind of like the Running Man almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the mask, very prescient, right?
I
They're
know,
outside
yeah.
wearing the masks.
Another
Mhm.
pandemic.
Someone went to Home Depot and bought a whole case of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
95s.
Were they N95s or were they just like these sort of like painted
No,
masks?
those are like the dude who paints your living room's mask.
It's not gonna stop the Rona.
It's absolutely not going to stop the Rona. Good Lord. What else
I
you
mean,
got?
I
Oh,
like
the bar was fun. If
the-
you want- the bar
Stuart-
scene, the Top
Stuart
Gun
Gordon.
bar, where
Stuart
everyone
Gordon
goes.
is the bartender, by the way.
Oh
is he?
shit! I didn't notice that.
I didn't know that either. I just thought this was a fun place for the guy to go moan about not being able to read.
Yeah.
And all the women extras look like they're figure skaters. It's absolutely the
That is
craziest.
true.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true.
And everyone has like everyone's part of the same like skidoo club or something with their outfits. It's just crazy.
First of all, what is a skidoo club?
You tell me.
Welcome to Canada,
The national pastime.
where we finally here have a nice layer of soft snow going behind my house. I haven't heard skidoos since last winter, and now they're zipping by every couple hours. So yeah, people get together and they go out on the skidoo trail, and they stop off at coffee shops, and they often, for some reason, I don't belong to one, they have the same swag. They just wearing the same.
What is
gear.
a skidoo?
Is it like a
It's the same-
snowmobile?
I-
Is it a
Snowmobile.
snowmobile?
Oh, sorry.
Oh right. I mean, it's
That's
just like you're telling me this like it's
Please,
obvious.
Randy.
I know what a ski-doo is, but that's more for liquid water.
Right. So that
Yeah, they're the
I
same
think I'm
company.
pretty sure the ski-doo was first. Anyway, ski-doo is this snowmobile.
Oh.
Look at
Yeah.
It's
See, we're learning
67
things.
degrees here, so no snow.
It's like minus 12 or so Fahrenheit, I would say here.
that.
I can't help you. I think in Celsius.
I know 40 is hot and 0 is cold.
No,
How about
it's
that?
hopeless.
That's my Celsius.
It's hopeless.
Was it? Celsius is pretty radical. Like 0 is cold, 100 is you die, minus 100 is you die. You know.
Pretty straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, it's nicely in base 10 too.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Exactly.
That's helpful. So at the beginning of the movie, the Alexander, the evil Confederation dude, like uses robot to just stomp a dude to death. He's like giving up. He's like, "Oh my back gets crunched," and it was like the worst anime. It was like a crazy like like a Lego foot coming down and shit. I was like, what is happening?
It was Saturday morning cartoon level.
Yep.
Special effects.
Yes!
100%.
It was
You know,
horrendous. In
I
my
had
dream,
this-
it's like a marionette. That's what I wanted. You know, it was straight
This-
coming down.
See, this is where I, because I hadn't seen this movie in exactly 3 years, right? So it's just like this movie starts like this. And I remember when I was like 8, I saw this scene. I'm like, hell yeah. This
was
is
it.
This is
You were
it. This is it. I'm watching this now and I'm like, oh. This is not good. This doesn't look good at all. Like there's no amount of nostalgia that can do this much heavy lifting.
Yes.
That's true.
So
We've
bad.
been burned by that before. Where movies from
Yeah.
our childhood were like, oh shit, this is a classic. It's a masterpiece. And then you show your friends as an adult and they look at you like you need to be in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a few
Highlander.
like this.
Highlander.
Oh, what did I have recently that did that for me? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles on a half shell.
This was such a downer. I was just like, I used to love this, and I'm watching this like this is not even remotely mediocre.
Yeah, this stuff I can't go back to either. Like I can't go back and check out an episode of The Greatest American Hero. I'm
William
too
Shatner.
scared. But man, I
Happened to
love that.
me. I can't believe it myself.
I'll go back and listen to the song.
The song, you
The
know,
title
it was
song,
a
for
top
sure.
10 hit.
Absolutely. What
Billy
the hell?
Cat, fresh off a
That's
carry.
right, Robert Culp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
goodness.
no rule against stomping your opponent after they've already given up, evidently.
Apparently no. Apparently it's also customary to do so because these Confederates they just go through pilots like it's nothing, right?
Yeah. I think it's the ref's discretion.
Well,
Yeah.
at the end, they disqualify him because he doesn't
Mhm.
leave the field in enough time or some shit. It's like, what?
They
Your
disqualified
discretion.
him because he crunched the referee ship.
No, they
Yes.
were gonna disqualify him before that. They're like, if you
Yes,
don't
because he
believe-
left the cockpit. Yeah. Did he not?
No, it was before
No, the
he-
Russian dude.
The
Russian dude.
Confederation dude had won the final match.
And he was going to
And they-
stomp the
and he
clone
was-
girl.
And he was like hanging out, and they're like, "You need to leave, or you'll disqualify." And he's like, "I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna hang out here anyway." And I'm gonna
Oh,
try
right,
to
yeah.
stomp her. Now it's against the rules, but earlier, stomp away.
I mean,
I didn't
let's
see the
be
rule book
honest.
here.
The rule book is flimsy at best because they're
Yeah.
just like the robot just first of all like the guy fires a rocket at a robot and he could just let it happen. Like I think the casualties would be probably like 3 people would be kind of grazed and maybe one of them would have a like I don't know some PTSD. That's it, right? But no, like 300 people die and the refs go, "We think it's a draw."
Yeah.
You know?
There are also,
They said
there are
you're
also
not
world
supposed to use
territories in
projectiles
play
or
here.
whatever. Oh yeah.
It's
Zelda
Alaska,
and imperialism, and it's
So-
Alaska.
Is this just like a gambling event and they put up territory, or does somebody want the territory so they
Yes.
set up this challenge? Is that what it is?
Yes, war has been outlawed in the future after the nuclear war. So
Like a-
all kind of disputes are handled with giant fucking robots.
Yes.
So if I just want like Ireland and I have a robot, then I can throw a challenge out.
Look,
And if
the-
I win, hey, good for me.
But they're only
Yes.
2 world powers in that sense. It's like risk.
if
Yes.
exactly if they had had
Not
any
me
like
with my robot.
official sequels to this, I bet you money there would be some maps. And in order to advance to Alaska, you have to take like I don't know some Canadian province next door, and you have to have
Newfoundland
some
or something.
You
units.
have to have
near-
that buffer and risk,
Yeah.
you know. You can't just be out there floating around.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just. I don't know. I feel like going to Alaska now. You have to just build up to it. So you know, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's
Well, what
got to
did-
be some rules and
What
some
did they
more.
say that he'd killed the last 9 dudes? So only Achilles was left at this point.
Oh, this
So
makes
you
no
think
sense,
this
right?
goes on
Doesn't,
forever?
yeah.
Because no, because like Achilles
is
has
on a
like 9
game winning
Exactly.
streak too.
Yeah, so he has 9 game winning streak. So that suggests that there's another player in the game.
That's
There's
true.
some, I don't know, union. I don't know. They called market and conversion. Just such a
Fighting for
bummer.
Madagascar or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you have to kill your opponent to win. Because the dude gave up at the beginning of the movie, and the ref said, "Oh, you're the winner," and he's still like, "I'm still gonna stop this dude. Sorry."
I think he got permission. It was like some kind of Roman, go for it.
I don't
He's
think
like tapping out.
He was.
Yeah.
You can
My
tap
back's
out.
broke. Don't stop me. It's like, I'm doing it anyway because I'm evil. I'm extra evil.
He had good core movement for someone whose back broke. Like he was no, don't.
It was probably just a little
broken.
sciatica or
It was a
something.
little sciatica.
Like bursitis bothered him.
Who they needed was like Robert De Niro to go on full on method and just like pretend your back is broken. All he does is just lays there and goes like,
He should have just been screaming.
That's a good point. It seems like it would hurt if your back was broken.
Well, and how are you having a conversation who's like that far away? He's up in a fucking like robot.
Hey!
Hey!
Guys!
6 stories up.
Right!
like I hate to be. Why do I have to defend this? It's like Saruman in Lord of the Rings. He projects.
That's 100%. That's what I was thinking as well.
They just project very well. Maybe they have microphones and there's speakers everywhere. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Ask Stuart.
Now, why? So Achilles was retiring because he was only under contract for 10 matches, right?
But he didn't like the kids dying or whatever. Because it was a draw, right?
Mhm.
So they wanted him to come back, but no, he did his 10 because, people die.
Is that what we're
That's
supposed
the
to
inner
do?
conflict too
Yeah,
of
'cause-
wanting to move on and
Because didn't he kill 9 other
study
people?
the alphabet.
Maybe he wasn't much for killing his opponents. He was just like, I win. I refuse to do fatality or something. I don't know. And just, he's noble or something, right? But then he just sees like 300 people die and he just moves in with his brother, right?
That was the worst. We talked about that. He moves in, yes. He retires and probably is like, hey, bro, I guess I'm sleeping on your couch forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And,
cool.
and 5 minutes later, he's back.
Yes.
But see, he can't read, and he's sleeping in his nephew's bed with all these complicated books like Clifford the Big Red Dog beside him. He's like,
We got to start
I'm
somewhere.
gonna unretire.
Because he couldn't read, so I want to see his the cockpit they had. Like all he had was like pictograms of just like a little.
Yes! The new weapon was a star, an origami star that they glued on.
Yes. That's real crazy.
That was
son.
for him.
Yes!
Yes,
Must have
He's a
been.
dum-dum.
because this guy Matsumoto couldn't leave him notes.
You can't
Right?
put
I'll
spray
send you
on
a
the button.
video. I'll send you a video that you can watch because Lord knows you cannot fucking read.
Now use your right hand. No, your other right hand.
There's a lot of that.
And the L is for the left. Oh God, you don't even know L. Poor guy. There's a social commentary in here if we dig really deep.
And he's the think about it. He's the best of the best. Like it's not just like a people off the street, that they just hire to like drive these robots. This is like years of training. These are like this is Top Gun. Like these guys are.
This is rollerball.
This is roller.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like some. Yeah,
This is Maverick.
Right. We know he's the best because there's that crazy kung fu scene in the workout room where he's kicking everybody's ass in slow motion, might I add. Hey, look at this. Where he's like, I gotta get my leg up here. Give me a second. There's a lot of that good stuff.
and think about it. Guillermo del Toro watches this. He goes like, "I'm gonna put it in my movie."
That's what it was.
Because Pacific Rim has the exact same scene.
It is.
Too fast, guys. Slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow it down. What did you notice? Am I crazy? His brother had like the fakest beard on, like he was in witness protection program. Go back and look.
I didn't pay
It was like
attention.
Henry Hill or something.
I didn't catch that.
It's kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Attack of the Clones. It's just like a poor job. But-
But it's like, why put if you don't have a beard, then just don't have a beard. Why was it important? He's not Rip Van
Because it's in
Winkle or
the
something.
script, Kevin.
It's the future.
He speaks to his bearded brother. Oh, shit.
That's right. There must be a chainsaw penis, and
Yes.
the brother must have a beard. It's pivotal.
It's pivotal.
Exactly. What's this guy's
important.
name? Holderman? Like, he must have been a real piece of work. He goes just like, oh Christ, I can't have another battle, says Stuart. Like, let him have the beard. Just
And all the citizens have COVID.
Because I imagine that the beard is important to the character. Okay, so
Absolutely.
Maybe the beard is like the mask. If you just grow that mustache down right over your face, it works like a mask.
You think so? It's a filter system to hang
It's
it
like
out.
it's like a filter, yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
like if you want to look like a Cthulhu but with just hair.
Yes, it is absolutely Cthulhu.
Again, Stuart
That's
Gordon.
all is discussed in part 2, I'm sure.
More robot jocks. Absolutely. Now, they established very early on that there's a spy in their midst. And I had to say, I knew who the spy was,
Immediately.
There aren't enough characters to have it be anybody else, right?
Yep. Yeah, it has to.
There's not enough budget to have a supporting cast.
The guy in a cowboy hat who just like what kind of a douchebag wears a cowboy hat everywhere? Like indoors, he's just like, ma'am.
And he's wearing football pads. That was not him underneath there. He had football pads on underneath that. It was ridiculous.
Like, I want to know if this was the actor's idea. I was just like, I have a great idea for my character. He's gonna wear football pads and a cowboy hat. Just to signify how much of a badass he is. Or maybe it was, again, the screenwriter goes like, the character has to have a cowboy hat. So
I thought he was supposed to be like Slim Pickens in Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's what I was vibing off of.
That's what they're going for.
I felt he was Jim Ross. I thought it was Jim Ross from World Wrestling. Yeah, Federation. That's who I thought it was at first. So he'd be the right age, looked like him.
If your name is Tex, you're going to wear a cowboy hat. That's just
Naturally.
a rule.
Way around that. There's no
It's
way
a
around
rule.
that.
naturally. I could imagine that the screenwriter, what's his face, had the exact same conversation with Stuart Gordon. Just like, I don't want this guy wearing a cowboy hat. He's drawing attention to himself. It was just like, his name is Tex. He has to have a
Or
cowboy
alternatively, as the writer, I'm changing the character name to Tex. And
So
you
now
have no
he has to-
choice.
That's right. You'll be legally obligated to give him a hat.
Absolutely. If he was Fred, he doesn't have to wear the hat, right?
What
But
would a
Tex-
Fred have to wear?
You wear something else. I don't know. Some other thing. Sombrero. Who's to say?
I imagine a Fred would have to have a mustache.
Or a fake beard, right?
Or a face.
Look, if they had one, throw it on him. Why not?
I think that's just science.
It is, yeah. I think it's the law, you know.
It is. International law, no question. What else you guys got? Any other highlights?
Oh, what's the
Go
when
for it.
when Athena comes in here to put Achilles to sleep, and she just stabs him with a syringe, and he's slowly losing his faculties as they fight.
And
It's
for
just
5 or 6 hours, he doesn't even really take a nap. He still just shows up.
you just
I think he just took some allergy. She gave him a shot of allergy medication, and it made him a little groggy, and he just went about his business.
Yes, it was
That's it.
All that dust, he forgot his mask. It was giving him a little hay fever.
yeah.
But on this scene, I like how they crash through the paper walls.
Yes.
And
They
then it was
don't lead outside.
And then
They end up with just some hollow space.
because I had to go back and see, because he was trying his damnedest to get out of this room because he was trapped in this room. And didn't he just smash through his paper walls? Can't he just step through into the hallway?
He looked through.
He looked
the paper
through.
wall.
He's
For
like-
that shit.
It's just, is she gone?
No,
He messed up the doorknob from the other side. What will I
Yeah.
do? Yes, it's a steel door with paper walls. Good thinking.
Yep.
Sweet
It's
Jesus.
it's exactly what it
future.
is. It's the future. man.
it's a futuristic condo.
Like no, the condo has such a Soylent Green vibe. Like this, all this needed was like Charlton Heston to just walk past to his room.
With a
It
scarf.
was so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
love
good.
I love it. I love all the Charlton Heston post-apocalyptic movies. I love Soylent Green. I love the Omega Man,
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes. I'm
Yep.
in. I'm
You
in.
have to. You gotta. You gotta.
Now you got to see Skyjacked because it's right in between them.
That's obviously a Charlton Heston.
Oh yes.
film. I
Is
mean,
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be. I saw
Yeah.
Airport 75, another Heston flick where he's fighting off, what was it, the plane's going to crash into a mountain with Karen Black. We got to add that to the list.
Hey,
was
if Karen
ridiculous.
Black is on your flight, you just need to know to get off. It's like Final Destination and you hear John Denver. Get off.
Yeah.
Just get off. Absolutely. No
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
in
so
the-
bonkers.
In the final scene, there was an extended, I swear to God, it felt like an hour and a half of the Russian guy and our hero just duking it out like in the wasteland. So
Mhm.
goddamn long.
It's just Aaron
We
just
can
is just done.
live! We can live! That was the worst.
Oh,
I'm like, what the? This dude was just stomping people like grapes just for fun. And he's like, you're right.
9 of your friends are dead. They're like chewing gum under his boot. Okay? And you're sweet Jesus. But
Look.
he drops the rock. Okay, we're friends now.
Yeah,
Think
it's
about
all
it.
Cool.
Einstein said, "I don't know what the Third World War is going to be fought with, but I know the fourth one's going to be fought with sticks and stones." What do they have? One has a stick, the other one has a stone.
That's deep,
It's the-
man. That's a deep
I know.
Albert Einstein knew. He predicted.
He
Very,
knew.
very
He
deep cut.
predicted robot jocks.
This is like I've put more thought into this movie than I think people who made it.
I was going to say
I-
Ben the Rider.
Charles
I'm starting to think you didn't go to work this week either.
Oh no, that was last Sunday. I mean, yes, I was like nice and sober for this because I sat down and was just like, okay, let's do this.
You have like a newspaper
I'm
clippings
doing a
all over your
dissertation on
wall.
this
Oh
bit.
yeah,
I was just like,
absolutely.
We're only robot jocks.
Any other thoughts and feelings before we go behind the scenes?
Oh,
There
we
was
should talk
Paul
about the
Tab-
Jungle Gym.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for
sorry,
it,
go
go
ahead,
for it.
Aaron.
Pull tab beer.
That's what they have in the future. What?
That's what they have in the future. We're going back to the pull tab where you drop it in your beer and then you choke to death on it. Yay! Unless your friend dropped a cigarette in it.
Yep, you got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That was all I had.
Oh, the Jungle Gym at least deserves a mention. The Jungle Gym Challenge. Great
Right.
Jungle Gym.
Well, what
Like,
was
that's
it
how
we
called?
used
It was
to
called
play.
like the Rattle Room or some shit.
The rattle, yeah, something like that.
I mean, what kind of a company is this? Like, we would breed all these pilots, and now we're going to ask them to just like climb this, and there are death
Fight one
traps in
another
this.
off.
Some of this is electrified, and some of you may die on your way down. But
Harvey
it's
was
a
in a
risk we're
body
willing to
cast
take.
afterwards because he fell to like 100
That's
feet to the
At
ground.
the bar, that's right.
Because that proves you can then Peloton your way through a robot war.
You
Exactly.
never see
If
them
you can
actually
climb
training
up.
like to master the robots, right? You never see them like, oh, here's a mock, robot that you're pilot. No,
No,
she
no.
just figured it out.
Here, you never see a scene of them training on the Wii Fit board.
No, like
Which
all you
explains a
need
lot.
is a kung fu session and a jungle gym, and you're good. You don't
You
even
can do a
have to.
somersault. You're,
Look.
you're solid.
It's probably the robot self-explanatory. You don't have to know how to read to be the best at it. Okay.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
it's not like a F-16 where you have to have, I don't know, at least a master's in some kind of an engineering subject, or I don't know, to understand the physics
good
of
point.
like
Not
dragon
necessary.
whatever.
Don't need it.
Because my kids learned the Wii Fit board before they learned to read and write. That's
See?
a fact.
That's
All you,
totally-
like,
They mastered the little sword game too with the Wii sticks. Yeah, it
see,
so they're
all you
ready to
need
be
to do.
robot jocks.
makes sense.
They're ready. Robot dogs
Yes,
and
they
train.
are.
Did you breed them just for that?
They don't have the little pigtail swirl, the little
Yet.
Padawan swirl.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The day is young. Let's go behind the scenes, shall we? Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. The screams of the spectators being crushed by the giant robot were later sampled in the song "The Becoming" by Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, I'm gonna have. I gotta write that down.
You know, because that's on the Downward Spiral. I've listened to this album like a million times and never connected the dots.
And that'll be your favorite song.
It should be really,
And
but the
Buster's
film's not
Nostalgia
that
Piece.
good.
An actual sequel to Robot Jox was considered but never made. Stuart Gordon, Gary Graham, and Paul Kozla would have returned as both director and stars, respectively, where Achilles and Alexander team up to stop an alien invasion.
Dude,
Yep.
considered means they were at a bar somewhere. They had a couple of drinks. They're like, what do you think? We could do it, right? Except this time we'll do this. And then they sobered up and never
Yeah.
spoke of it again.
No, just next time we'll have another Robot Jox with like blackjack and hookers and aliens and everything, right?
Absolutely.
But funny story, by the way. There's a film. It's all connected by the guy Charles Band who produced this, right? He produced the film. No, sorry, directed a film called Crash and Burn, which has a giant robot at the end and has a giant robot on a VHS cover. And in where I grew up in Poland, it was titled Robot Jox 2: Crash and Burn. And I rented this because I loved Robot Jox as a kid. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. I'm just like, false advertising. This is so bad, right? Like, where's the robots? It's a lie, you know. Where are the robot fights? Like, it's kind of like the Thing meets the Terminator in the world of Mad Max with a giant robot at the end that's kind of like remote controlled. It's just not good. Yeah,
With Eva LaRue.
yeah.
Eva LaRue's in that.
It's a classy move.
And they also
is.
did another. And Charles Band, I think he only produced it. He produced a film called Robot Wars, which I think is considered like an unofficial sequel to Robot Jox.
I want to say that I've seen that. Did we watch Robot Wars, Kevin?
No, but I've heard of
Or
it.
am I thinking of the TV show?
Like, look, let's just say you're not missing out on much. It's on archive.org, so it's like you can watch it for free. And Jesus, okay, they have a scorpion robot because there's this wasteland where apparently there are some like, I don't know, some like Tuscan raiders just fire at robots, and there's this robot, this like the size of like a massive Jaeger from Pacific Rim, but it's the shape of a scorpion, and it's also a bus, as in like you can board it, and people use it as a mode of transportation. And it's the most uncomfortable transport. You can see people in the cockpit. It's kind of like the USS Enterprise in 1969 when everyone's just it's just the best. It's so
Gordon
bad.
almost cast Jean-Claude Van Damme in the lead role of Achilles.
Oh, this would have been so good.
Lost
think we should've.
opportunity there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say, like, you know, like, I love JCVD, and I think, like, of all things considered, I think he dodged the bullet.
I mean, he was
Yeah,
a
would it
cyborg.
still been slowed down, or would just the opponents be like, "You're going too fast"? And then JCVD
Robots would be
just
doing the
pitches him
splits, that's
across
for
the
sure.
room.
Oh, yes, exactly. Like,
Absolutely.
where's the
100%.
splits coming?
So
And is the
after-
robot... I imagine the big robot, the black robot, the Alexander robot, fires the rocket fist, and JCVD does a split in the cockpit, and the robot does a split and just dodges the thing, then the rocket fist.
See, part 2 just writes itself.
I mean,
But the casting is key.
it's just what we need is
Absolutely.
JCVD. You know,
Yeah.
we just need him to, because only he can deliver the split like nobody else.
And then Steven Seagal will be the bad guy. 'cause
yes,
f***ing
as
hate
in real
Steven
life,
Seagal.
frankly.
Yes.
True.
Because he doesn't even have to get out of a chair. I don't know if you've seen, he's like done a few recent sort of action films where he just does action scenes in like an office chair without standing up.
Yeah.
He does not like to get
Go
out.
around with a stick in the
Yeah.
office car.
Yeah. Ah,
We
So
talked
good.
about how the director and the writer would have battles, and one of the famous quotes was the director said, "Joe, our problem is that you're writing a movie for adults that children can enjoy, and I'm directing a movie for children that adults can enjoy." So there you go.
and this is how
And
Pixar
neither
was
were
born.
true.
It turned out no one enjoyed it.
Look, I did. I enjoyed it. I was a
You're the
kid
one.
who enjoyed. Like,
Just one person.
Like, look, I kid you not. Like, because I was what, like 8, 9. So I point because I didn't have my own money. Like, come on, right? So I asked me, can we have this for the day? And he goes like, sure. Like, let's just sit down and watch this. And he just like checked out 5 minutes and like, this is garbage. It's not. So I just watched it all by myself. So yeah, it was a film for kids that adults could not enjoy. Apparently.
Stuart Gordon stated this is an action movie for kids, even though it shows a crowd of screaming people being crushed and burned by a falling robot and a naked woman walking through a locker room full of men. Yet, even with these scenes, it still managed to get a PG rating. Shocking.
Which is where
difference
Verhoeven
between-
says like, what's wrong with that?
Empire Pictures went bankrupt during the filming of this, its most expensive film ever. The film was bought by Epic Productions and finished and released nearly 2 full years after having first been started.
Yep.
Boom.
There you go.
Ridiculous.
Can you remind me how much it
They
actually
made the
cost
money.
to make? It's like $1 million, right? No, less than that.
It was like $6.75 because they already had the robots.
Close enough.
It was the change in the
Coupons.
couch, basically.
No, it's like six. It's like almost $10 million.
And it made
Wow.
1 million.
Yep. That's
Let's
exactly.
talk about the cast
That
and
sounds
crew.
real.
Stuart Gordon is the director. You know him from such things as Reanimator,
Yes.
Classic.
From Beyond,
Yes.
Mhm.
Fortress,
No.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Dolls,
a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
Castle Freak.
Sea dogs.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one. Guys, have you done the Fortress on the show?
We have
I have
not.
never seen it.
Can,
That's a
can I please
Crystal
make it
Lambert.
on record because we're now live, right?
Yep.
Can we come back for Fortress?
Whoa.
It's
We
either
might
that or
have
we
to
have
do it.
or we have to do
Yeah.
like 90s prison escape movies on the show, and it's gonna be a bigger investment. And if if you guys are willing to do a Fortress, like I
Then
mean,
we could check it off rather than doing a whole month of stuff from the bottom rack.
it's like Randy's sick and tired of my
All our
choices
movies are
on the
from
show.
the bottom rack.
That's hilarious. Let's see. Gary Graham played Achilles. You know him from Robot
Alienation.
Jocks.
Night at the Roxbury.
He was well, to me, he's most famous as he played.
Deadwood, The Office.
He was
Oh.
on Alienation, the TV series.
Yes, he was.
And
Oh,
yes,
He was the
played-
James Caan for
He was
TV.
the James Caan role. The sad thing is, he literally just died on Tuesday.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
So in his memory, we're doing the show.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
He was also on 12 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise from 2001 2005. Additional crew on The Jackal in 1997. I don't even know what that means.
Additional crew.
What do you mean
Uh,
additional crew? Like, was he the guy who's just like holding Jack Black's like stuff or whatever?
Yes,
I don't know.
that's what it
Love the
was.
Jackal, by the way.
Do you what? You don't love The Jackal, really?
I mean,
Ah.
like, it's a terrible
have you
movie,
seen
but I
this
have
in theaters?
I feel like I've seen a movie called The Jackal.
I've seen
This
it
is
since
the-
theaters.
This is the Gear one, right?
Yeah, Richard Gere,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
I hate it.
For me,
at
this
the
was
time.
it was a stunning reversal for Bruce Willis because this was the first time I think he played a villain.
Yes.
One of the only ones, maybe.
Since Miami Vice, I think.
Yeah, it's like on good
Let's see.
stuff.
Anne
probably
Marie
not-
Johnson played Athena. You know her from 118 episodes of
in the heat of the night.
Mhm.
I remember that.
Althea Tibbs. She was in Jag, 18 episodes on Jag, and 7 episodes of Days of Our Lives, which is
Oh,
not
goodness.
many,
Aw,
frankly.
good soap.
By the way, Gary Graham debuted in Hardcore.
Did he really? With,
I did see he
George
was a
Street.
child in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang also.
Okay, I'm going back to Gary Graham. Let me look at this. This is craziness.
Like this guy.
He
like,
was
such a
child
career.
in Castle in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I'm rolling all the way back.
Yeah.
He was in
let's
Steel with Shaq.
He was in. You guys are making up stuff. He was not. He was in one episode of 8 is Enough, one episode of Starsky and Hutch, one episode of David Cassidy, Man Undercover. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Well, I'm not even sure if I'm familiar with that.
He was in Hardcore, however, with George C. Scott. So check
Yep.
that out.
That was his first film role. This was supposed to be his big break. Like, I'm leaving TV. Like, this is it, like, guys. I'm gonna be like Gregory Peck.
I thought for a second you were saying he started in hardcore films.
No.
No,
That's where my head was for a second. Okay, I've caught up.
he played a guy called
Hardcore.
Todd. and
Carry
I
on.
can't remember who the guy Todd was in Hardcore.
I don't remember that either. It
Todd was.
I remember the movie, but I don't think I ever saw it.
I think
George
Todd
C.
was
Scott
the clerk.
Is
was
the
trying-
dad, right?
Yes, he was trying to find his
Yeah.
daughter who fled to LA and was in porno movies. And
Yeah.
when
Yep.
he found her, she was like, Dad, you were the worst dad ever. I'm happier being in porn than going home with you back to Michigan.
That's the one.
This
Spoiler
is
alert.
it. Hardcore, the movie, as summarized by Kevin. That's exactly what.
Hours of fun.
Yeah.
Exactly the
Hours of
movie.
fun. Do you watch that with the family, Kevin?
Just laughing and laughing.
It's just like, meanwhile, the family is kind of like living vicariously through George C. Scott, going like, turn it off.
Pretty much. Turn it off. Paul Koslow, he played Alexander. You know him from The Omega Man in 1971. He played Dutch. I don't know who Dutch was in
don't know.
1971.
It doesn't matter.
Also in 71, he was in Vanishing Point as
I may
Deputy
have seen
Charlie
that.
Scott. He was
Was he
Lippy in The Losers in 1970. I don't even know what that
Limpy?
means.
Limpy.
That's
Limpy.
Hardcore Part 2, evidently.
Oh my
Sweet
god.
Jesus.
This was his porn name, like the guy in Hardcore's Jism Jim.
Lippy is not a good porn name, by the way, I have to say.
No,
It's not a strong one, is it?
it's a red herring kind of name, you know. It's
Hillary Mason played Professor Laplace. You know her from Don't Look
Dos.
Now as the clairvoyant Heather in
Yes,
1973.
and
And
Dolls.
she was Hillary Hartwick in 1986 in Dolls.
woo!
And 9 episodes of Aquila from 1997, 1998. So good stuff.
Okay.
Shall we look at the ratings?
oh Jesus, let's do this.
Robot
critics-
Jocks!
Were you
It's
able to
word
find
not
someone that wrote a review of
happy.
this?
Did it
That's an
register
excellent
anywhere?
question.
Like, you
Uh,
look, if you prod me, I'm gonna write an essay. There's gonna be 2,000 words, just like
Just take over the
Just-
Wikipedia page.
They need it.
of revisionist reviewing.
With 5 reviews,
Ooh.
Robot Jocks currently is at 40%.
That seems
Well,
high.
That's
We've
what the
reviewed like
audience gave it.
West reviewed films.
Audience gave it 26.5%.
With 5,000 plus reviews, 42%.
Oh,
So there you
they were
go.
so
Question:
generous.
how many
Yes.
of them happened after Pacific Rim came out? Because I think in 2013, a lot of people discovered this and they were just like, "Let's fall in love with this campy piece of schlock because like because Guillermo says it's amazing." So like how. I don't know if I can trust them.
Did Guillermo say it's amazing, or are you putting words in his mouth?
I think he was. I think he mentioned somewhere that he was just thinking like I think he even mispronounced it. He was like, "Oh, there's this film called Robo Jocks," and I'm just thinking like, "Let's do this, but with meets Godzilla or something." And everyone's
Yeah.
like, "What's this film he's talking about?" And it's like, "It's a Stuart Gordon film. Let's watch this." And I was just like, "This is shit." It's just,
Not a
but we're
good-
loving it anyway because Guillermo says it's amazing.
I think we can all agree that Guillermo's on the downward slide too, by the way.
Why do you say that? That's upsetting.
Because his stuff is shit since Pan's Labyrinth.
So since the beginning,
Since the poor Guillermo, if you're listening, no offense. There's only one top critic who reviewed Robot Jocks.
Is that Variety staff?
It is Rex Reed. No, it was Noel Murray from The Dissolve. Says,
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
There you go.
I always read The Dissolve. That's how I get my news on YouTube.
That's it. Gordon's saving grace is that the stop motion animation and model work on Robot Jocks looks really cool even now. 3 out of 5. That's a goddamn lie.
That's a goddamn lie.
I don't appreciate you, Noel Murray.
That's a lie.
Sweet Lord. What is your rating? Aaron, let's start with you.
I am going to give it one flying fist into my eye to stop me from ever watching this again out of 5.
Jakob, what's your rating?
Look, the 8-year-old in me wants to give it a 5, but it's not. It's for me. It's a 3 because I'm still just like, look, I'm gonna watch this again. I watched like all these unofficial sequels. I love that kind of crap. Even though like it's just like it's not good. Like I'm not gonna like, go to work and recommend it to my colleagues. You know, just like, do you know what I watched last weekend? Robot Jocks. You have to see this.
Drop everything. Rush out to
So this is
the library.
heavily nostalgia laced 3 out of 5. Okay, that's how I'm leaving it.
Fair enough. Fair. Randy, what do you got?
Okay, I can sit through this and I can put on a certain lens and see, okay, this is sort of the cheese that it is, and not suffer through it. But yeah, at the end of the day, and in the spirit of being with you guys, I am going to give this 2 illiterate pilots out of 5.
At least 2. At least 2. Absolutely. Look, it's not good. We can all stipulate that. I've seen worse, though. I think we've all seen worse. So
For sure.
I wouldn't give it a 1. I'm going to say 1.75 chainsaw.
Oh, well, you're
dicks
right.
to the
That is
eyeball.
so different.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I hope you're sitting down. Yes, I mean, it's, again, I've seen worse, but it is not good.
I love how you just you're all so polite.
Well, no, I honestly, when I say I've seen worse, I've seen some shit. Since we've done this show, I've seen some shit.
It's no cannibal holocaust, that's for sure.
No, not a single animal was deshelled.
As far as we know.
As far as we don't know.
I can't claim that. Who knows?
People are saying.
Robots have feelings, you know.
They do. Absolutely.
Just in space operas.
So thank you very much. We're all over social media. Go to our pages on X. I'm on Blue Sky and Threads, and I don't know if anybody on Earth is. So if you happen to be there, say hello. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. You may be watching us on YouTube. Who's to say? For goodness sake. You can also email us at the podcast that wouldn't die at
Gmail.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. Aaron, what is your social media?
I'm on Artie. I'm on First Dibs. I am the Cult of Aaron on the Insta and Threads and stuff and whatever.
Now, where can people go to see and listen to all of your guys' amazing stuff?
Should I take this?
Go for it.
Right. So the show is at Uncut Gems Pod everywhere on social media. We have a website, uncutgemspodcast.com. We don't have a YouTube outlet because we're afraid to show our faces. Hello world, you know. And then also, if you like our stuff, we also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/uncutgemspod, where we just do extra shows. So we talk about movies that no one really wants to talk about apart from you guys, because like you recently did the Frighteners and we did the Frighteners like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like we dust off some
our Venn
unloved
diagram
classics
for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
We love your show, guys. We've been on it many times. So guys, do yourself a favor and check out Uncut Gems. It is dynamite.
I just want to throw
yes.
out that Constantine 2 is coming out this year, and I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, look at that!
Okay.
We should probably think about some kind of like the Constantine retrospective. I don't know.
Between Constantine or John Wick minus the first one, absolutely.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, because
that's a tough pitch for someone in the room. Good.
No, John Wick is kind of like a it's like
You've done
I
this.
feel like the Manchurian Candidate. I'm gonna just like must kill Enrico Palazzo.
Absolutely.
For future reference, you can't mention John Wick or Paddington next to Jakob.
No.
Just sets them
I
off.
can guarantee we will never mention Paddington.
Paddington
Paddington.
2 was dynamite.
Not one.
Not 1, 2. If you have not seen Paddington 2, Hugh Grant, who I have my complaints about, he's kind of a cantankerous old fart, but he is hilarious in Paddington 2. Boom. I said it and I own it. There you go. As you know, what we like to do occasionally is have viewer listener comments, either from emails or social media, referring to our episode of The Pope's Exorcist. Our
Good old
Pope
Pope
Sexorcist.
our friends at the Film Rage podcast say, as long as I can listen while my fat ass rides a scooter, I'm in.
Ride your scooter
Word.
from what was it? From Rome to Spain in 15 minutes. Was that what it was?
That's a Vespa listen.
Next week, we are doing the M. Night Shyamalan masterpiece, Aaron.
Yes,
Lady in the Water,
I love this movie so much.
starring
Ooh.
Bryce Dallas Howard and Paul Giamatti and others, I'm sure. If you are interested in watching this episode, you gotta spend some money, I'm sad to say.
Fuck, we need a business license. All these terrible movies cost me $5 a week.
Yep. It's $2.89 on Amazon Prime, $2.99 on
Bastards.
Apple TV and YouTube and Vudu and yada yada yada. So, I guess we're gonna spend some money this time, guys. I have not seen Lady in the Water.
Have
so
you
I'm
guys
not-
seen it?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I've seen it.
Uh-oh. I see some wild eyes. No.
Yeah.
I'm one of the 7 people in the world who goes like, there's some genius in this movie. I love this film.
I love
Yeah,
this
it's
movie.
pretty deep down there, though. I gotta say, like,
It's
it's a fun one to watch for Shyamalan's career, no doubt. However, it doesn't come together.
It's no
It's
Robot
kind of-
Jocks.
it's kind of the
no
the
Robot
one that
Jocks.
kind of broke his career because everyone was like, we don't understand a single thing about what's happening here.
What's a
Thanks very
nerve?
much. But I really like it. It's a very smart film. I don't know. I'm looking forward to listening to your takes on this. This is going to be amazing.
I'm going to make a psychic prediction that Kevin is going to hate it. I'm just going to put
Probably.
that out there. Somebody
Are you Johnny
dated.
Carson with the card up?
Yeah.
Yep.
At 1/27/2024 at 1:13 p.m. Pacific time, I predict that Kevin will hate Lady in the Water.
We'll see.
You're not wrong.
We'll see. I have a love-hate relationship with M. Night Shyamalan films.
I keep showing up and he always disappoints.
I typically don't show up, so we'll see what happens. So send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show.
Oh, you write to us. We'll mention it.
We'll mention it. So thanks again to our friends at Uncut Gems, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very
Cheers.
much. This was
This is
fun.
amazing.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, and be well.
Good day.